Hello everyone, in this video we want to explain about translation of public sign and how it applies to different forms of media. Continue to the next slide, translating public signs. So what is public sign translation? Public sign translation is a process of changing information on signs from one language to another while ensuring that the message is clear, accurate, and culturally relevant for the target audience. So what is actually important of translating a public sign that we have to make the translation clear so we can have a clear communication. Also, it must be cultural sensitive. And the last, it must be accessible. So we use this article as relevant sources that discuss about our topic. The title of the article is Analysis of Translation Techniques on Public Signs in Jabodetabek Light Rail Transit or LRT. It used Catford's translation theory with the definition that translation is the process of substituting text from the source language with equivalent text in the target language to preserve meaning and significance. The key points from the study that public signs in Jabodetabek LRT involve translating Indonesian into English using various techniques to ensure accuracy. And these are the translation techniques based on Catford's theory. The first one is substitution. It is replacing source language elements with equivalent in the target language. As example, pintu tepi peron into platform screen doors. And the second one is equivalence. It uses common or idiomatic expression in the target language to preserve meaning. As example, priority seat. And the last one is structural shift. It is adjust sentence structure while maintaining meaning. As example, modulation and literal translation. We can take a conclusion that applying Catford's theory ensures that translation maintain the original meaning, adapting them to be culturally and contextually relevant for the target audience. Let's move to the background of the translation theory. D.C. Catford's translation theory is based on descriptive linguistics, especially the ideas of M.A.K. Halliday and G.R. Firth from the University of Edinburgh. Catford uses general linguistic theory to explain translation, seeing it as the process of replacing a text in one language with a text in another. His theory is a part of comparative linguistics, which looks at how language relates and focuses on translation equivalence. Catford highlights the need to understand what translation equivalent means and how it differs from formal correspondence. He believes translation always goes one way, from the source language to the target language. His theory also includes general categories that help analyze and solve translations problems.
They say Catford. John Cannison Catford, or Catford, also called by Ian, was born on March 26, 1917 in Edinburgh, Scotland, and died in Washington on October 6, 2009. Catford is an influential British linguist. He graduated from Royal High School of Edinburgh and University of Edinburgh, specialized in French language and literature. He taught linguistics and applied linguistics in the School of Applied Languages at the University of Edinburgh. His scholarly contributions such as phonetics, phonology, dialectology, Caucasian studies, comparative linguistics, second language teaching, and translation theory. His work are more than 60 articles and 3 books such as A Linguistic Theory of Translation, Fundamental Problems in Phonetics, and 2 editions of A Practical Introduction to Phonetics. His best work is a book titled A Linguistic Theory of Translations, was published by the Oxford University Press. Because of this work, he became recognized and admired by translation learners everywhere. Additionally, he achieved a reasonable command of both the Russian and modern Greek language. He also studied several other languages, including German, Sanskrit, Latin, Arabic, Hebrew, Turkish, and Indonesian.
According to the Catford's theory, translation shift is divided into two kinds of shifts. The first one is level shift. Level shift refers to a source language item at one linguistic level has a target language translation equivalent at a different level. It occurs when a linguistic level changes from grammatical into lexical category in order to achieve a more accurate translation. And the second shift, according to Catford's theory, is category shift that is divided again into four kinds of shifts. The first one is structure shift. Structure shift happens when the grammatical framework and syntactic structure of a sentence in the source language is changed to match the grammatical norms and conventions of the target language. While the second one is class shift. Class shift occurs when a word or a phrase from the source language is translated into the target language as a word or phrase with a different grammatical category or word class. For example, if in the source language the word is a verb, it could be translated into a noun in the target language. The third is unit shift. Unit shift involves changing the grammatical unit in translation, like how we would translate a phrase into a single word or even vice versa. And the fourth is intersystem shift. Catford uses the term intersystem shift for the case where shifts are occurred caused by a different grammatical form between the source language and the target language. It could be the case of translating a system of numbers or even singular and plural systems. Now, we are heading into the examples of public science translation, with the source language is Indonesian and the target language is English. Now, let us see the first example. Here we have jadwal pemeriksaan, which translated into examination schedule. The term jadwal, which translates into schedule, and pemeriksaan into examination, causes the structure to shift from a noun phrase in the source language into a more specific noun phrase in the target language. The second example is pintu keluar, which is translated into exit. Pintu keluar is translated as exit in target language, reducing the phrase into a single word. And the next example, here we have dilarang merokok, which is translated into no smoking. Dilarang is a form of grammar, while no in no smoking is a lexical phrase, so the level shifts from grammatical to lexical category. We have seen how Catford's theory applies in public science, but is it also applicable in other medias as well? Sure. Here are some examples of how the theory can be applied to other medias as well. The first example, we have the quote from the movie Moana 2. "You must brave the storm," is translated to "Kau harus menghadapi badai." Here we see how brave, which is an adjective, is translated into menghadapi, which is a verb in Indonesian language, showing the shift in the word classes. Menghadapi would usually be translated as face, and brave would usually be berani in Indonesian, but instead, the movie uses brave to match the situation and context of the scene. And for the second example, we have a piece of lyric from Laskar Pelangi sung by Niji. Jutaan mimpi di bumi, translated into million dreams in the world. The inter-system shift occurs in the word mimpi, which in Indonesian words remains unchanged in form despite having a plural meaning. In English, it translated into dreams, adding the s, changing the singular word to plural meaning, which creates a more accurate translation of jutaan mimpi. And for the last example, here we have a broadcast announcement from Genshin Impact. Results announcement is translated into pengumuman pemenang. In Indonesian, the phrase follows a noun plus noun structure, where pengumuman precedes pemenang. In English translation, results announcement. The structure remains noun plus noun, but the emphasis and internal structure shifts slightly. The word results function as a modifier for announcement, which shows a different structural focus. And also, see how pemenang is translated into results, which means hasil in Indonesian. If the translation follows the source language, it would be a little bit confusing, thus the reason of the change.
In translating public signs, accuracy and clarity is essential to ensure that the information is accessible to everyone, regardless of their language. Translation shift by Catford, which consists of level and category shifts, provides a valuable framework to analyze public signs. From warning signs to informational and directional guidance, the application of Catford's theory helps us understand how language changes across contexts while maintaining meaning. Recognizing the shifts allows translators to better navigate linguistic challenges and achieve equivalence between the source and target languages, ensuring effective communication in public spaces.
That's all from us. Thank you. We are sorry if you found some mistake from us, and see you in the next video.